gentlemen. Welcome to Walking with J.Beau. Once again, an almost daily walking vlog. Did not walk yesterday. But I've been walking a lot lately, so that's okay. And we're back out here today, and it did just start raining. We are going to get rained on. I don't know how hard it's going to rain, but I did bring a raincoat in my backpack just in case. So if it's just going to be a little showery like this, spitting a few drops, it'll be okay. And some people have asked me how come I don't walk with an umbrella. Well, because you're walking at a good pace, arms are swinging and you keep a rhythm, and holding an umbrella is cumbersome. For me anyway, feels like a distraction. I got enough to deal with carrying a camera like I am now. Which, by the way, brand new batteries and a new charger came in the mail today. So we're giving those a whirl right now. Brand new batteries. So we have just a few things to talk about today, I think. If you haven't been watching the news. And it's just like I said, and President Trump knows this, because like Trump was reminding the media today, he was president before, in 2020. And remembers the Democrat governors who would do nothing, and Democrat mayors who would do nothing, taking the approach of let them get it out of their system, they'll go home when they're done. They don't take it in the same context of the president, who does not want this to spread to other cities like it did in 2020, because mayors would let people do what they're doing. The police are told to stand down, don't do anything to hurt people unless you have to, and they facilitate this stuff, as exemplified by the rioters in Los Angeles and on the West Coast, who are used to not being prosecuted. Well, these ones are going to be prosecuted. Throwing rocks at the police, Molotov cocktails at a horse, that's attempted murder. And throwing fireworks at the police. You know, these are all violent acts. We have laws on the books for that. And these people are going to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And AG Attorney General Pam Bondi said that the federal government was going to be using the Hobbs Act for many of these people that did looting and things like that. Statute that's been on the books since 1951. I looked it up. Dealing mostly with forcefully stealing or taking advantage of an emergency which is all things that should have been done in 2020, but nobody did that. So basically though, President Trump, I'll turn the camera around. President Trump has gone through this before, as we all know, and has had to deal with it, sitting around waiting for Governor Tim Walz to quell what happened in Minneapolis while a police station burned. Seemingly, the Democrats want all this chaos and violence so they can blame Trump for it. They seem to be trying to do the same thing again. And trying to blame this chaos on Trump. Well, he's not having it. And he said he's not going to wait around for governors to make their decisions that he knows they're going to hem and haw and take forever to make, if they make one at all. So he acted. Called leading. And new polling just came out, coincidentally. 54%, which is a high number. 54% of the public support what Trump has been doing with migration, with immigrants, illegals. The media and the Democrats are trying to portray it like they're breaking up families and they're just grabbing illegals off the street. ICE has been arresting criminals with records, using criminal warrants. They're not going door to door rounding up illegals. Now the media and Democrats, they want illegals to live in fear. A very mean thing that they're doing. So ICE is utilizing congressional laws on the books passed by Congress. They're not doing anything illegal. The media is trying to make it sound like they are. The media is trying to make it sound like they're showing up at schools and rounding up illegal kids. They're not doing that. If they get a warrant for a 17 or 16-year-old gangbanger, they're going to the school where they know they'll be and arresting them. They're not taking other people. So this is all fear-mongering by the media, which has stoked this violence. And you have the same professional agitators who show up at these things all the time, smashing curbs, breaking granite statues to use as weapons, handing them out to people. So this is all stuff we saw before. We saw it at the Capitol, January 6th. People showed up with grappling hooks in their friggin' backpack, you know, because they knew they were going to be doing that. You see what I'm saying? I have a backpack on. I don't have hammers and chisels in it and grappling hooks and things to break windows. Oops. Oh look, a deer saw me and hopped over a tree. See him? Hi baby. Guarantee you, let's get young ones around. baby. It's okay. It's okay, baby. Go ahead and eat. I'll leave you alone. I got my video. Bye-bye. Well, how cool was that? Isn't that awesome? Walked into a deer. Sometimes on this part right here where I'm walking, I walk into them at night and I don't see them, and they scare me more than they scare them. It's amazing how quiet and stealthy they are. I didn't see this one until he started moving, or she. Well, that makes me happy. You can tell because I'm smiling. So this is that same field I always check when you're with me through here. And usually you can see them out here somewhere. So that was nice. That deer was just looking at me eating some leaves. Majestic creatures. They're not exactly small. I don't know if YouTube still allows that, but you used to be able to zoom the picture. But it looks about 20 to 30 feet further away than it really is because of the camera lens I'm using. So, like how far I am from you right now, literally it's probably 2.5 feet. It looks almost like a full body length, doesn't it? Like I have a really long pole I'm holding you on the end of. But that was cool. Just munching on some leaves, minding their own business. So anyway, you know, they try to blame Trump for all of this stuff. And the ridiculous rhetoric, like the media narrative right now is Trump calling in the Marines and the National Guard is exacerbating the problem. It's causing more violence. No, it's not. If you watched it yesterday, you saw that a lot of the violence was quelled because the National Guard was there and the Sheriff's Department had their military riot gear on, and you know, the media is like, they really are classless. They're the enemy of the people, swear to goodness. They're talking about, oh, these Marines coming in, they're gonna have rifles. We saw them with rifles. What is that gonna cause? The LAPD and Sheriff's Department over the last 2 or 3 days have had rifles with rubber bullets. That's what they're gonna do, dummies. So we're not gonna have a Kent State University moment. And what they will do though is they're gonna throw somebody to the ground and detain them forcefully. Some people might get hurt when that happens, but you know, don't be out there doing this nonsense. So we'll see it all unfold. There's a lot of great live feeds on YouTube. One of the best ones I've been following is some guy that's out there on his own dime. He does not get any monetization from YouTube. He doesn't get paid. So he's just out there on his own dime because this is what he does, and he relies on donations, and a lot of people donate money to him. But anyway, his channel is IRT Media. That's IRT Media. He also covers the Sean Diddy trial, which I really don't care about at all. Haven't watched any of it, haven't followed it, really don't care. But his coverage on this riots has been awesome. So anyway, worth checking out if you want. Now watching Gavin Newsom crying about Trump usurping his authority in California has been priceless. It's been absolutely hilarious. Gavin Newsom doesn't care about the people of California. He cares about this as being an embarrassment, for which it is. He wants to run for president in 2028. And he's going to have to use his record in California, where the majority of the public voted for Trump to clean up this immigration problem. And apparently the Democrats' best course of action seems to be to buck him at every inch that he does that, which is not doing what the voters wanted. So that new poll that came out today, 54% supporting Trump on what he's doing with deportations, is big. So I don't care if Los Angeles is a city of immigrants. I am in Lewiston, Auburn, Maine. We are a city of immigrants. Franco-American. What difference does that make between being here legally or illegally? Zero. Goose egg. You're either a legal migrant or you are an illegal. If you're an illegal, you broke the law when you crossed the border. Unfortunately, we have somewhere between 10 and 20 million, pick a number anywhere in between, that came in during the Biden administration. Nobody really knows for sure, but we do know it's more than 10. Could be 12, could be 18, could be 20. So Democrats are absolutely horrible. They always have a tendency to be violent. I've said this on here a million times. Liberals, aka leftists, I don't like calling them liberals anymore because they're not really liberal anymore. They are far left extremist. Neo-Marxist. Not true Marxism, but neo. Kind of like a neo-Nazi is a racist, but they're not really a Nazi. See what I mean? So we have that going on, and we just had a media for the past, since Trump has been president in 2017 when he was sworn in, that if you see a red MAGA hat, it's okay to punch the guy wearing it. That's the rhetoric they've been spewing. The end justifies the means. Violence is okay if it's for a good cause. Christians or conservatives are like, violence is never okay, it's a last resort, and it has to be justified. So, as in self-defense or actually rioting and telling people why you're doing it without hiding behind masks and everything else. So one is bound by morality and the other one is not. The other one is virtue. Good old-fashioned virtue signaling. So that's my thoughts on that. I can tell you right now, Gavin Newsom, or Newscum as Trump calls him, is not going to win getting into it with Trump. He issued a video today calling Trump a stone cold liar, this and that, and listen, I am siding with Trump. I voted for the son of a bitch 3 times. I was one of the early ones following him. And that's the other thing that bugs me, is all of these people saying that we're in a cult. Trump is a king and we're just obeying our Jesus. Come on, man. I'm telling you right now, if it ever came out where Trump was diddling children on Epstein Island, he's gone from my life. I'll not put up with anybody like that. We have all seen the media pile on against him unfairly, and he deserves gratitude for what he's doing. So that's it. Been following him for 10 years. I started following him when he was doing small rallies that hardly anybody went to, and the video of him saying he was going to bomb the shit out of ISIS went viral. I was like, that's different. That's my guy. I never watched Trump on The Apprentice. I didn't follow anything that he did. Didn't really know much about him. Just figured, oh, he's some rich a-hole in New York, like the other rich a-holes in New York. And, well, I've become a believer. But no person should ever worship a single man, ever. That is actually in the 10 Commandments. You shall worship no other God but me. So anyway, we got all this stuff going on. Crazy times, folks. Crazy times. We're witnessing so much history. And I got something else to talk about. This is very, very important, guys and gals. According to my demographics, 90% of my channel viewers are male or identify as male. Don't want to offend anybody. 10% are female or identify as female. Again, I don't want to offend anybody. So we have some pretty nasty news today from Al-Qaeda. This is a credible threat too, so this is, pay attention, guys. Al-Qaeda has officially today called for the assassination of Trump, J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, and other infidels that support them. That's the very important footnote at the end of that, okay? That would be me, probably you, anybody who voted for him, conservatives. I saw a video from Al-Qaeda explaining this, translated, and these people are ready to die for Allah, okay? So they have called jihad, and they're going to start a holy war on American soil. So that's legit. It's not rumor, it's not conspiracy. So I guess my advice to you would be, all those walks I did for the past 2 years telling you to train, get a firearm to protect yourself and your family. If you haven't done it yet, you have to do it now. We all saw what happened in Israel and how easy it happened. Every town in America has a mosque in it. Who knows who's running them? Who knows if they're safe from terrorists? Biden let in between 10 and 20 million people, unvetted, from all over the world, from Romania to friggin' Syria. Okay, so, you know, we have a pretty large Afghani population here in Lewiston, Auburn. We have people from Somalia. We have some devout, hardcore Muslims. We have women walking around not showing their faces. So that should tell you all you need to know, that if their religious leader tells them to take action and sacrifice themselves if they have to, because, you know, they're going to paradise and all this stuff. Just letting you know, okay, this is very real, and it could happen at any time. So you need to be armed, and you need to train. That's the most important thing, is training, okay? Can't stress that enough. You can't be dropping shotgun shells when people are kicking your door in, okay? You have to be ready. You have to practice. They sell dummy rounds that you can practice with. Have a safe place in your house if you get this little room that you can hide in, because even if you are defending yourself and you train, it's not wise to go up against 4 or 5 people invading your neighborhood. So that's something you would have to decide at the moment. You'll know what to do. So that's some advice that's been given to people that go into combat. Don't overthink it, you know, that's what they would be told. You'll know what to do. You've trained for it. Something will kick in, you'll react to it, you'll be okay. So we have a whole bunch of different types of weaponry for urban warfare, ranging from bullpup semi-automatic shotguns to short shockwave type. The Remington 870 TAC-14, for example, is a really good shotgun for tight and in close. We have one of those. Shot that quite a bit. You've probably seen it on the channel. And so this is all just stuff you're going to have to do. You have to. It's the day we're in now. You know, 10, 15 years ago, I'd probably say, you know, chances are pretty slim you'll ever need it. But now you can't say that. Could happen to me while I'm walking right now. So I have what I need with me. And you gotta be ready, folks. Got to be. So anyways, it's been a few raindrops and it looked like it has stopped somewhat. The radar has rain all around us. We're in this little pocket with nothing, so I know it's going to rain before I'm done walking. So make sure your guns are clean, sighted, everything's solid, and hopefully we'll never have to use it. I really hope and pray to God nothing bad happens. But America has gone too long without having an attack on our soil, given the environment of the world right now. The fact that we have not been attacked yet is a miracle in itself. With all the unvetted people that cross the border. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, Jose Rodriguez looking for, you know, a less than minimum wage job here because it'll be more than he's ever earned and just wants to come to America. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people that took advantage of the open border, came here from the Middle East through Mexico. So they went out of their way to go into Mexico and come into the United States. We living in Maine here, which is a border state, we have seen many illegals come across that flew to Canada from wherever they came from. So they flew over the United States into Canada and then crossed the border, because Canada had a very lax immigration policy for people going to Canada. So that was part of Trump's beef with Trudeau that started this whole tariff thing. That and fentanyl. And I can unequivocally tell you that people cross the border into Maine illegally. There are arrests quite often. They do it in the wintertime too. They come across on snowmobiles. And we have a pretty open border with Canada. Right? So one of those things, you gotta salute the flag. I almost walked by my Vietnam veteran across the street without saluting his flag. So, I say so a lot in segues. So, we're going to have to be on top of things and really pay attention to what's going on. As you can notice, it's cool again today, 60 degrees. It's a little humid, not too much. Cool enough for a long sleeve with a shirt over it. I don't walk for fashion. Aren't you glad? So I just walk that way. So we've been watching the Democrats praising the rioters, telling them to resist, trying to blame Trump for the chaos. Now, the Los Angeles mayor, Karen Bass, said some people have been violent. We're not encouraging people to be violent. So that has to stop. Newsom also said that, so I'll give them credit with that. But many Democrats in DC have failed to condemn the violence because they want this. They think this helps them. It's like they still don't know why they lost the election. They're doing the same thing over and over again. Deja vu. They really feel that making Republicans the racist helps them. People obviously know that's not true. I mean, they just voted for Hitler. I mean, you figure that would be enough for the Democrats to say, well, maybe we didn't do the right thing with that because, you know, most of the country just elected Hitler. Like, duh, right? So, the full Republican caucus and Senate is behind Trump right now. That came out today also. Republicans held press conferences today. So, all is well with the world. Democrats are just going to continue looking bad. They're good at it. So, to think how far they have fallen in so little time compared to how long the Democratic Party's been around, mind-boggling. They started losing in the 80s, late 70s. And they've had little spots where they'd win the House, but they never keep it, you know? Took them 8 years to get the House. Then Obama was president, and the first thing they do was Obamacare. after Obama campaigned on something other than that. So that was Nancy Pelosi. Not coincidentally, next midterms, Democrats lost the House, and they didn't get it back until 2018. So, you know, you figure the difference now, though, is that the Republican Party is Trump's party now. Whether Republicans that haven't realized it yet know it or not, it is. And they're finding that out. The people are calling them and supporting what Trump's doing. So we will see what happens. Turn the camera around now. I'm sure you're tired of looking at my big dumb head in front of the lens. If you're not, I'll be back shortly. So the weather's not looking very good for this weekend. Kind of disappointing, because we're not going to be able to go shooting on Sunday this week. So it's Saturday or nothing. And it looks like there's very high probability of rain at this point in time. Of course, we still have a few days, and often they change it. We can just get a 3-hour window, that would be nice. That would be nice. I want to shoot that genuine 1911A1 from 1945 in near mint condition. And to be honest, after looking at the pictures, I'll have to see it in person. By looking at the photographs, it doesn't look like it's ever been fired. Birds up there. Got a bird on a wire, chirping away. Everybody knows what he's saying. Hope he's not laughing at me or she. I don't like being laughed at by birds or anything else. Somebody that graduated here, class of 2025, fence there. Be awesome. Congratulations, whoever that was. Hopefully we'll be able to leave the world in a better place. Just hit 2.5 miles. So it seems like Shanabello's made a push for changing our license plates, where you could have different options for what you want. Either the pine cone or the state of Maine flag from the early 1900s that for some reason the Democrats wanted to bring back as some kind of statement on liberalism. They just want to, you know, that's the whole thing with neo-Marxists, this societal change. They want to change the narrative on everything to make a new normal. Remember, we used to hear a new normal. So they do that crap. Anyway, she decided to force everybody to get new plates. Last year when I went to register my car, I was forced to pay for license plates. Now I gotta register my car this month. I still haven't gotten my new plates. I'm assuming when I register, I'm gonna get new plates. Now here's the kicker. Because they rushed it and they outsourced it and they hurried up and didn't do things like they usually do, people are getting the wrong license plates. There's mistakes on them. And they have to get new license plates. So you register your vehicle, the license plate says it's this, and then on your car you have a different number. She said the best thing you can do is print out. Can you believe this crap? I really freaking hate liberals and stupidity, incompetence. She's running for mayor, governor of Maine. Pumpkin-headed friggin' moron. The same woman who kicked Trump off the primary ballot, or tried to. The same one that filed lawsuits to prevent RFK from stealing votes from Biden. That Shanabello's pumpkin-headed hoe bag. So anyway, she, Secretary of State, makes these decisions on license plates. So now people are getting the wrong license plate, and she says, just print out, don't worry about it, just print out your registration when you registered. And you can show the officers. She said the officers, once you register your vehicle and it's online, they can easily check it. Yeah, but what's going to tell them that you didn't affix a fake illegal license plate on your vehicle? Nothing. So she said the correct plates will be sent out later. So now you're going to end up with 2 sets of plates. Taxpayer funded. Taxpayers paid twice the price, okay? 2 sets of plates for thousands of Mainers. Probably myself included, because I ordered mine last year. So now we have license plates that were outsourced to a company outside of Maine because of the sheer volume that she created, because she mandated everybody change their license plates. Typically, we used to have prisoners in Maine make them. They would make the license plates. So because she put in such a huge burden on the system, they were unable to do that, and they had to outsource it. Oh, for a couple $1 million. Taxpayer money, who cares, right? This is what Democrats do. They mismanage everything. They waste money, tax dollars, and then they cry about how poor people don't have this or that, and there's homeless people. The Democrats are the damn problem. So I don't know what I'm going to get for license plates. I paid for my license plates last year. They said it was going to take a year before I could get them, and now they're behind schedule. I haven't gotten anything in the mail yet. They're already paid for. Where are my plates? So we'll have to wait and see what happens. She's a friggin' pumpkin head. We got like 6 Democrats running for governor now. Crazy. Hi, how are you? So I don't know what the hell's going on. I'll have to wait and see. I'll see what happens when I register my car. And I do understand the reasoning behind people getting new plates. It's because the ones that are currently on vehicles are old. My plates have been on the car since I want to say 2012. They're starting to look old and weather worn. Some of the clear coat on top is peeling off. And I understand that's why she wanted to do it, but she shouldn't have mandated and forced people to do it. You know, she just created a burden that caused a sinkhole for tax dollars because Democrats can't run anything. She has no management experience. They brought her in here from Massachusetts. She's an import. And she's been doing the work of the Democratic Party. Whatever she's told, she does it. And, you know, like we're going to have voter ID on the ballot. Well, she had to take her lawyer smarts and change the wording to try to phrase it as closely as possible to confuse people into thinking that they are voting for having an ID to vote, but voting the opposite because they don't understand that no is yes and yes is no. On a ballot, normally, traditionally. So she's gotten some flack from Maine Republicans for that, but it's not going to change. It's on the ballot. So there's going to have to be a good ad campaign letting people know how to deal with that when they vote. I do know that voter ID is very popular with voters in every state in the country. Some more than others. Some states it's more popular than it is in Maine, but some other states it's 70-80%. In Maine it's about 60%. So I'm expecting that to pass. So this Bluetooth has been acting up since I walked in the rain. It keeps turning off when I'm not using it. Stays on when I'm using it. But when it's just sitting there inactive, it turns off by itself. And I didn't do that before. So I'm wondering if water got inside and did something to it, which it probably did. So we'll see what comes of that. I have other Bluetooths, but I like this one the best. But I do have other ones. Got a pretty good collection of them, actually. We shall overcome. You can use more than one with a phone anyway. As long as it's compatible with the operating system that your phone has. So we'll get this walk in the books, take a shower, have a coffee, relax, maybe listen to some vinyl. I haven't listened to vinyl for a couple, 3 days, which is unlike me. I'm getting a good workout today. That flag right there, that's the one that's the other option for the license plate, the one that's hanging up. And I think I can't remember which one I ordered. I think I ordered the one with the pine cone on it. The one I have right now has the, I believe it has the lobster on it. I don't even remember what my license plate looks like. Because we had 2 or 3 different designs. I think I got the pine tree on it or the pine cone. We had a choice of lobster, pine tree, or pine cone. This time we get that flag that's hanging there, minus the rainbow stuff attached to it, by the way. Well, license plate ain't gonna have a rainbow flag attached at the edge of it. But part of my city here is in liberal loony land. Part of it isn't. We're right on that borderline. It's very tribal. It's like another 6-mile walk today. Day before yesterday we did 5. Crazy days we're living in, boys and girls. But pay attention to that terror threat. Really important. When Al Qaeda says they're going to be attacking America, you can take them at their word for it. I'm pretty sure they have sleeper cells already embedded here from what we've seen with in the past with their threats of doing that. All you're going to do is wait for an activation call triggered by Iran or something. Iran might have been the one that gave the green light for Hamas. So we have taken in people from Libya, Palestine. We've taken people in from Afghanistan mostly during Biden's debacle. So it's pretty funny that the media is trying to say that bringing in more law enforcement isn't going to work to stop criminal activity. I mean, do these people listen to themselves talk? It's not going to make the problem worse, okay? That was cool. We got to see a deer today up close. You don't see many in the daytime. That one was munching some food. I'm not going to selfie stream while walking here because I don't want to get beeped at. There's a guy online that does good content on social media. His name is Adam Francisco. He's a Mexican with a MAGA hat. Well, he's an American. He's a citizen. But he supports Trump. And poor guy needs a kidney. He has a dialysis machine in his home. And he posts videos asking if anybody can help him with a kidney, that he would be very grateful. So anyway, his name is Adam Francisco. Should be able to find him if you're interested. Big time Trump supporter, Hispanic. He does a lot of video content where he goes out to these protests. He's in Florida, I believe. He went to one in Tampa recently. He shot some video. Sometimes he gets harassed, sometimes he doesn't. Now, the other thing I saw last night was I was watching the live stream for the protesting, and in Los Angeles, and this car pulled up, started shooting paintballs at the National Guardsmen and federal officers outside the ICE facility, federal building. Sorry, I had to change a battery. I usually don't have to change a battery that close to where I'm going, but it has been an hour and 10 minutes, so. Anyways. I was watching that protest in Los Angeles, and this friggin' white 2005 Infiniti two-door coupe pulls up, and this MFer sticks the muzzle and the entire paintball gun out the window, and it was shooting at the officers. It got reported that an officer did get hit in the face with a paintball. So this was the guy that did it. So I recorded the video from the stream, and I screen capped the license plates, and I submitted it to the FBI, and they were thankful to get that, but I'm pretty sure they knew about it anyway. So I'm waiting for that mother bleeper to get prosecuted. Guy had his license plate in the windshield because there wasn't affixed to the front of the car. So typically in states like that, you have to put it on the dashboard where it can be seen at the front of the vehicle. So I'm going to go this way. So I love those tip lines. We need to stay vigilant, and when you see something, you need to say something. So the key thing with the video clip is that the son of a bitch that did the shooting with the paintball gun then got directions from another guy who had a drum and a kerchief. He pulled it off his face to talk to the guy in the car. So he's on video with his identity showing, and he was organizing this, telling people where to go and where to be. So this is all organized protesting from these fringe groups. Either they organize online, or they're paid by somebody, or both, or something. So we'll see some prosecutions out of this. And if we were Gestapo and Nazis, we would have just grabbed him off the street and put one in his noggin in the back alley somewhere. But we're not, so might take some time. But these people have been so used to having nobody do anything about it for so long that they don't think anything's going to happen to them. Now, that guy that was with a motorcycle helmet hiding his identity, throwing rocks at police vehicles after the ICE raid they did, well, he's been identified and there's a warrant out for him. So he'll be arrested at some point. They know who he is. So, you know, you're not going to get away with this stuff. This day and age with technology, anybody can go online and enter a license plate number. You can get the VIN number of the vehicle, what state it resides in, and if you're willing to pay a little bit more money, you can find out who owns it. So that's why I always make sure my car's license plate is not on the internet. All right, good walk today. There's always stuff to talk about when Trump is president. There's an electric vehicle you can't hear. Well, that one does have a slight whining noise. Must be a Democrat car. It's whining. I made a joke. Feeling raindrops again. Well, so far, for the most part, I think I've picked a good window to walk in. It's the only window I'm going to get today till late tonight. Very strong odor from this pine tree. The smell of pine was choking me. I don't know what species that is, but that was strong. Must be pollinating or something. As you can see, rhododendrons are very popular. We got a lilac bush over here that's almost done. Now it's the turn of the rhododendrons, or azaleas. Azaleas, as you folk call them in other places. Personally, I like azalea better. Sounds prettier than rhododendron. Rhododendron sounds like a Godzilla foe. Rodan and Mothra and rhododendron is fighting Ghidorah. This is what the lawn looks like when somebody waits too long to cut the grass. When you do cut it, it's all clumpy. Raindrops are picking up a little bit. Tomorrow it's going to be 80 degrees with sunshine. Raining a little harder now. Four and a half miles. Just went off in my ear. Now it's decided to stay connected to my phone. All of a sudden, I have a vanity license plate too. I was just thinking about the license plate thing again. I don't remember if I chose my vanity plate or not. I think I did because, well, I don't really remember. I really don't. All right, I don't think I did. I think I let them choose the plate because I didn't want to give them an extra. They raised the price of vanity plates, and I didn't want to pay them the money for it. That's right. If you let them choose it, you get free plates, I believe. So, well, that guy stopped and talked to me while I was in the middle of a workout. And I don't like to stop and talk when I'm working out. So I didn't mean to be rude to the guy, but I wasn't rude to him. I am going to edit out what we talked about, though. The guy said his name on here, gave out his phone number. I don't know why he did that. Very strange. So that's going to be footage I'll see. You won't get to see that. But he was pushing the Jesus. He asked me if I was saved and this and that, and I said, yep, I was. Do you want to say a prayer with me? I'm like, no, I'm in the middle of a walk. I gotta go. I'm in the middle of a workout. I pray to God several times a week, and I said, you'll just have to be good with that. So he gave me his phone number, and he said he wants somebody to video. He needs somebody that can video stuff. And I'm like, well, highly doubtful. Appreciate the effort, but too many people in the world right now I don't trust, and I'm not getting involved with anybody. So I really didn't want to be rude to him, but, and I wasn't rude to him. I just didn't, he said a little prayer anyway. I crossed myself, so just don't make me stop while I'm walking. Now I realized he might have been somebody interesting to put on my stream on YouTube, but trust me, he wasn't. I think there was something wrong with this one. But hey, I'm glad he found Jesus. That's good for everybody. He asked me about the B on my hat. Then he told me what his last name was, and I was like, man, don't do that, not on my stream. So he gave out too much personal. He gave out his home address on here, his phone number, his last name. So I'm like, geez, you know. So I'm gonna have to edit that out. Some people just don't get it. Sure, he's a nice guy. Definitely seems like there's a little bit of a screw loose there somewhere, but not because he's into the Jesus and everything, but I just think he's got some kind of screw loose. So today we saw a deer eating leaves, and we saw somebody high on Jesus. I'll probably see that guy again. So basically what it was with this guy that kind of rubbed me strange, as you can tell, is something mentally wrong with him. Sometimes you can just tell. But I told him, says, yes, I have been saved and I pray. And you know, he started going through his sales routine anyway. I was like, I just told you, you know. So I got out of that conversation in a hurry. We just hit 5 miles. I'll walk with you a bit further. Then I'll bow out of this conversation with you. Amazing, where the hell did they all come from all of a sudden? Thanks. I gotta cut that off right there. I gotta talk over that music or else I'll get a strike. Well, not a strike, but YouTube will make me take the video down. I might actually have to edit that small segment of music out. I don't know how long it has to play to trigger the algorithm, but I don't feel like uploading my video and then being told I gotta fix it. Any more deer out in the woods today? This is an area where these woods in the swampy area here will get deer in it. I'm coming up on the Norwegian white maple. It has a species name tagged onto it, but it's too long to pronounce and I don't remember what it is. So I'll just call it a friggin' Norwegian white maple. As I get an avenue here, I'll cross the street. All the cars are coming all of a sudden. Rush hour. Whole bunch of cars coming this way too. Go away. Whew. Feel the burn. Having a good walk today. Keeping a good pace up. That's why I don't want to stop and talk with people. I like to keep that sweat going. We're up ahead here, across the street, and partway up the street up here, I'll sign off with you, like I usually do. People beeping at each other. Sounded like a friendly beep. Sometimes you can tell when people beep angrily. Turn this around. All right, my friends. If you hope you enjoyed the walk today, click like and subscribe. Share the content. Remember to keep your head on a swivel while you're out and about right now. I'm serious. You know, any place where you have received migrants, which is pretty much all across the country now, even in small rural areas, I mean, you know, you're gonna have to think about it. There are a lot of people that came here because they had to, not because they want to. You understand? So they probably hated us before they came here, and they still do. So keep your head on a swivel. That means situational awareness. Be aware of what's around you. Take a look around once in a while. Pay attention to noises. Look at these two dogs here. These two dogs. One dog just wants to mind his business. It's always that black one. The black one's the ringleader. Anyway, my friends, be safe out there. Say a prayer for Trump and the country. As you can see, we are in a very tumultuous time right now. So pray for the country and for President Trump. And we will definitely see you on the next walk. Click like and subscribe, share the content, check out the new gun video I uploaded. Peace out, my friends. God bless you. See you soon.